Welcome to our mini class, How to Upholster a Dining Room Chair Seat. This is a fast motion excerpt from our 2-hour full-screen DVD, Upholstery Fundamentals, which also shows how to recover an antique rocker, a chair, and a sofa. Visit upholster.com for more free instruction, a discussion board, books, tools, and videos. I'm going to show you some basic cutting and upholstery techniques and their tools on a simple dining room seat. Before taking anything apart, be sure and mark the fronts of seats and the tops of backs. Also mark screw or bolt holes. I use a flexible tape measure, and for this seat we'll add a couple of inches that will be trimmed off later. You just need enough to get a grip on the material. I write down the front to back measurements first, then side to side at the widest points. Many seats are tapered. Measure backs if your project has one, top to bottom, then side to side. On some jobs you may have welt cording around the base of the seat. These are auto and marine vinyls. Most fabrics and vinyls come 54 inches wide, although some automotive and canvas fabrics are 60 inches wide. It's helpful to use a 60-inch ruler or at least a 48-inch one in a framer's square. I use a pair of professional 10-inch shears which are available in both right and left-handed models. If you're using vinyl, pull on it so you are aware of how it stretches more one way or the other. Line up the square with your ruler to make sure your fabric starts out straight across. I'm marking out my measurements to the vinyl with chalk. You should remember the old carpenter's adage, measure twice, cut once. Cut to the center of the chalk line. Label the front of the material. Fold the material in half and cut a small notch at both the front and the back. These are our main stripping tools: a pair of wire cutters, wide nose pliers, a sheetrock knife, and a professional staple and tack puller. Use leverage against the wood to remove tacks and staples. Let your tools do the work rather than struggling to pull a staple straight out. Use your wire cutters to remove stubborn staples you have already loosened. A dull pair of cutters works best. Many staples will come out just by pulling the fabric off. Make sure you maintain control of your tools so you don't get injured. Place a mark in the center of the front and back of the plywood frame. You can use cotton batting like this or a bonded Dacron polyester wrap like they use for quilts. Take off the excess padding even with the bottom edge of the plywood. If you go over the edge, you may get tack pulls, which are bad-looking indentations. Line up the center of the seat with the new cover. Here's an electric upholstery gun that shoots fine wire staples and will penetrate hardwoods. Most electric guns sold at hardware stores aren't powerful enough and shoot too thick of a staple for upholstery work. You may be better off using tacks. Here's a couple of air guns used at upholstery shops. And there's nothing wrong with good old upholstery tacks used with a magnetic tack hammer. These sharp tacks are often sold in hardware stores as carpet tacks. About 3/8 inches long works well. Hold up the seat and smooth the new cover and filling down snug towards the back. Staple to one side or the other of your thumb or fingers rather than right in front, which will produce tack pulls. Make sure your work is secure and you use eye protection for your safety. Smooth and staple within 2 or 3 inches of each corner. Here I'm cutting out the excess material from a corner. Trim off all the excess material. You'll want nice flat corners without any wrinkles. Visit Upholster.com for more information on furniture and car upholstery and making slipcovers. Check out our resources for supplies, toolkits, and professional staple guns.